Are you a teacher or a trainer or someone that needs to collaborate with other people, but some of those people are remote and some of those people might be in a boardroom or a classroom? This is something that I've been doing quite a bit over the past few years, hybrid teaching. The idea that I want to be able to create a classroom experience that can not only be taught in person, but can also be extended to people that might not be able to make it in for any reason, or people that might be remote. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, my name is Frank, and here on the channel we look at technology that can help us learn and teach and be more productive. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you a piece of hardware that allows me to have hybrid meetings much easier than I ever had before. You know, before, in order to have a hybrid meeting, I would have to go and get multiple cameras, microphone systems, and I'd have to connect it so that I had coverage of the room. I'd have to manage everybody that was coming in remotely. And, you know, it was a little bit of work to do. It can be done, and there's definitely ways that we can do that. But I have this device that's arrived called a Nuroum, which is a 360 conference camera. And what this allows me to do is use this one device. Instead of having a whole bunch of different cameras, I can use this one device in order to capture everything that's happening in a boardroom or a small classroom by using a 360 camera in order to capture the entire room. And what happens is I'll also use this to be the microphone and the speaker for the meeting. So now everybody in the room that's speaking will be captured by this device. Everybody who's talking will be able to have the camera focus on them. I'll get a nice 360 view for everyone that's coming in remotely. So they'll see every individual speaker, plus they'll be able to see the room as a whole. It makes the experience of working hybrid way better because what's happened is I now have a fully participatory environment as opposed to trying to switch between laptop cameras. Now, this was sent to me by the company that makes it, Nuroum, and I've been playing around with it in a couple of scenarios. So the first scenario is I tested it out, made sure that I could understand it. And then the second scenario is we had student presentations, and I used that for the student presentation day, and I just set it on the conference table. Everybody presented, and they had a copy of their presentation. I won't be able to share the student presentations with you because of privacy issues, but I will be able to show you how this works so you can imagine using it in your own environment. What's really nice is not only do I have the 360 camera and I have the ability to control everything from the top of the device, but I also have a remote. So I can mute the audio if I want to mute it for any reason. I can mute the video. I can change the video position so I can scan left and right. I can scan up and down. And I can use this in order to focus in on the speaker. Let's take a look at how this works, and I'll use it in my studio here, so you're going to get a free studio tour as well. It's a small environment here, but you'll get an idea of how it works. For this demonstration, I'll use Zoom. I use Teams an awful lot, and I use Google Meet, and I use Zoom. This will just act as a webcam no matter what conferencing software I use. I have plugged it into a wall outlet. One of the things I might recommend is to get an extension cord to carry with you in the box if you're taking this to different conference rooms, just because sometimes the conference table doesn't have a power outlet, so you may need a little bit of extra extension for that. But other than that, I do have my connector here. So I'll have a USB-C connector, and there's an adapter that'll turn that into a USB adapter. So this just plugs into my Mac, my Linux system if I have a Raspberry Pi, my Windows system. I'm just going to go ahead and plug that into my Windows computer. It'll be recognized by Windows as a camera. And if I go into my device here now, you'll see that in Zoom, it's saying that I have no audio and I have a camo camera. That's a different camera that I use. So let's just go in here, and I'll just go into Zoom. We'll go into my audio settings, and you'll see I can test the speaker. I can see that it's already selected the Nuroum as the device. Let's test it. I'll take my lav mic off, secret lav mic, so we can hear it. It's really nice audio. So it's a very crisp audio. It actually is quite a nice speaker. So that's great because that'll fill the room. I can use my remote or the device itself to increase or decrease the volume. I can test the microphone. Again, you can see I have the Nuroum device here, so I've selected that device. Let's test the mic. This is a test of the audio to see how the audio sounds when I'm recording for the meeting. This is a test of the audio to see how the audio sounds when I'm recording for the... So it's quite nice actually. It has a good audio capacity and I really like the way it sounds. When I go into my webcam, so my video, you'll notice something right away. It's 360. Oh, it's the wrong camera, so let's go and switch to the right camera, the Nuroum C50, and notice I have 360. I'm going to use my remote. I could also use the top button here to press the people button. And when I press the people button, I would normally in a meeting be sitting a little ways away from the device, but you see that it focuses on me as a speaker. And as I move around the studio, there's not a lot of room in the studio, but if I move over here, let's move a little bit, I can recenter myself with the remote, and it'll just recenter on me as a speaker, but it also will intelligently determine where I am. So I didn't touch anything in that case, it followed me over. At the top, you can see that I've got the 360 of the entire room, in this case, the studio, and you can actually use the remote to move through and scan around the environment. So if it doesn't quite pick up what you're looking for, you can scan the environment, and if you press the button, you can return to the one speaker. But of course, in a meeting, I would have several speakers. So you can see that's how easy it is to set up. Now when I'm recording and now when I have a meeting, I'm going to be able to see everyone that's participating. I'm going to get an overview of the entire room, and I'm going to be able to allow for people that are remote to feel as if they're fully participating and people in the meeting to fully participate as well. The tech specs on this device are quite impressive, with a 360 camera shooting at 1080p at 30 frames per second, 6 omnidirectional microphone, has a full duplex speaker, and that's, there's lots to this device. Nice thing is you also have a tripod mount at the bottom, so if you don't have a conference table that you can place it on, you could bring in a tripod, and that would allow you to sit it in the room in a place where it could capture everybody. It really depends on the size of the room. Like I said, I have tested it pretty extensively in different conference rooms here in the studio, and I also did use it for some student presentations where I thought it did quite a nice job given the room configuration I had as well. There was a lot of desks and monitors in the way, but this still was able to capture the 360, and I was able to use the remote to make sure that I was focusing on the student that was presenting just by hitting the people button, which I could have done at the top as well, or by using the directional arrows here on the remote. This will now become my main camera whenever I'm doing any type of hybrid teaching or training. I really think that this is going to be very useful. I don't have to worry about my laptop camera. I don't have to worry about an external camera and finding a place to put it, making sure it's pointed in the right direction. I can just put this down, plug it in, and we're ready to go. Check it out and let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm actually very excited about this device, and I'm very happy to have this as something I can use in my teaching technical toolkit. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.